Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now, anyone who watches these kinds of videos on YouTube may well have stumbled across a gentleman called Trevor who makes videos about his gambling recovery. He actually had a relapse at a similar sort of time as I did, and he's been posting videos every now and then giving us a bit of an update on how he's getting on. So if you're watching Trevor, well done mate, I'm glad you're sticking with it. Cheers for the update. I did comment on your video, but yeah, if you haven't seen Trevor's videos, I'll put a link in the description below. If I forget, which I probably will, I might put a card up, or I might just say his name's Trevor Rainsford, go and check him out. But anyway, Trevor put a video on saying he hadn't posted for a while, and he's been a bit of a grumpy old bastard, I think was his exact words. My apologies Trevor if he wasn't. But yeah, that kind of led me thinking really how many times I've been grumpy since I stopped gambling, and also as a parallel when I haven't been drinking as well. I found myself sort of being really quite grumpy at times, and this is when you're the most susceptible to fall for that lie, isn't it? That drinking or gambling or whatever, it will make that grumpiness go away. What I've found is that now I've not been gambling and having those horrible ups and downs of, you know, the I guess the euphoria, if that's the word, when you're gambling, when you get those endorphins running, and obviously the real downs, the gambling hangovers, as I talk about all the time. You know, the results of a heavy loss. You know, the shit you can land yourself in when you're gambling. That real ups and downs. Now, when you eliminate that from your life, what you get is mundane everyday emotions. You have highs, you know, but maybe they're not quite as high. You have lows, but they're certainly not as low. So you do end up with days where you're just feeling a bit miserable, a bit grumpy, a bit kind of meh, you know, wet Monday morning grey A12 commute kind of a feeling. And I've had that so much more since I stopped gambling, and even more so since I've stopped drinking, because I've just again not had those ups and downs. Gambling will feed you that lie that partaking in gambling will make you feel better. It'll bring back that excitement. You know, it will stop you feeling grumpy and miserable. And it might, for a very short period of time, whilst your body is flooded with endorphins, it may well do that, because ultimately gambling is an escapism. And that's all you're doing. You're hiding from whatever it is that's making you grumpy in the first place. You're not fixing the problem. You're not ungrumpying yourself. All you're doing is running away from it for a set period of time, and in the process, invariably making it much, much worse. Be it just the come down after a gambling session, you know, come down from the endorphins, but more likely than not, during said gambling session, you will lose money. You will cause yourself some sort of harm, whether it just be financial harm, or whether it means that you're late home and then you're in trouble with your partner, or you miss a bit of work, or you're not quite as focused in whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. Whatever problem you had before you started gambling, gambling won't fix. But it maintains this lie, doesn't it? It maintains this idea that, you know, you indulge in me, you go and do what you've always done, and you'll feel back to normal. You know, and by this time, to be honest, in my recovery, albeit sort of 5 months-ish, you know, since my last lapse, but probably about 18 months, I guess, in total, I've kind of forgotten a little bit about the highs and lows, and particularly about the lows of gambling. So when you have this opportunity to make yourself feel like the old you know, to just sort of get that escapism, to get that release that your addiction, your vice would have given you, then it does become tempting. But don't forget that it is a lie. The whole thing is a lie. And gambling is littered with lies. The whole industry is based on lies. Next time you see gambling adverts on TV, and I promise you, as long as you don't do everything on catch up, I promise you that will be the next time you watch TV, because they're all over the place, aren't they? Something like 1 in every 4 adverts is a gambling advert or something like that. See if you actually recognise yourself. See if you recognise yourself as any of the people that are gambling in these adverts. The closest comparison, you know, I can see between real gambling and the people in the adverts. Occasionally you get a shot of blokes in a pub who have put a bet on the football. But I mean, that's not, even then, that's really not realistic, is it? But if you look at the online casino adverts, look at how much they lie to you, look at the excitement in the faces of the people playing these games, Even if we ignore the completely unrealistic, results that these people seem to get, look at their faces. How excited are they? And compare that to the last time you remember gambling online. You don't see a bloke in my age sitting on the sofa in his pants with an empty bottle of cheap wine, bashing away at the space bar on his laptop while it burns a hole in his lap, probably making him fertile at the same time. They don't use images like that to promote gambling. It's all a lie. And the worst ones, the absolute worst ones, are the online bingo adverts. And I'd looked actually at my channel stats the other day, and I think like 1% of my audience is female. I don't know how accurate that is. I presume that 1% is probably Katie. Hi, Katie. But yeah, the female-focused online bingo adverts, which promise you this, all-absorbing social experience. Come online, make new friends while you do your bollocks. And this excitement, this false representation. It's all lies. It lies to you that it's fun and exciting. It lies to you that it will make you feel better. It lies to you that it's an escapism. The whole industry is based on lies. And ultimately, the biggest lie is the lie that you can win. It doesn't matter what you're gambling on. It doesn't matter what you're playing. It doesn't matter what you're betting on. It doesn't matter whether it's random, whether it's compensated, whether you're betting on sports. It doesn't matter. The odds are against you in every single type of betting, every casino game, every form of wagering. The odds are against you. The ultimate lie is that you're going to win, because you're not. And yeah, there's other lies as well, of course, isn't there? And this is something I just want to quickly touch upon. It's the lies you tell yourself and the lies you tell others. Now, of course, we have the lies we tell others. We have the lost wallets. We have the, they messed my wages up. I had to lend a mate some money. All these lies we come out with, and I'm sure you can add a lot to that list. All these lies we come out with to tell partners and family, whoever we were trying to borrow some money off of, all these lies we tell these people to explain away the fact that it's 2 days after payday or whatever and we're skim. We tell lies to these other people. If we ignore those types of lies, there's lies we tell ourselves. There's lies, it's only money, we tell ourselves, don't we? It's only money. It's my money. This is what we'll say to other people. That's my money. It doesn't matter. If I want to lose it, I'll lose it. But the problem is that you're lying to yourself. You don't want to lose that money. You want a normal life, don't you? All us gamblers, I think, realistically, want that normal life. We want to be able to spend money on things for ourselves, things for people we love. But we can't cope with the fact we're throwing that away by gambling. So we lie to ourselves, it's only money, it's my money, I can do what I like with it. And you'll get lies from friends. I used to have people around me that used to tell me and echo this back to me, oh yeah, it's your, well, don't worry about it, Phil, it's your money, isn't it, you pay your rent, don't you? That was always the justification, wasn't it? Well, you're not homeless, so it's your money. If you want to spend it in the machines, and you spend it in the machines. You can't take it with you. Oh, fuck. Well, but you can leave it to your family, can't you? All these lies. and the lies you tell other people, like, I can stop anytime I want. That's another lie. And it's only when you try and stop, when you actually decide you want to stop, that you realise how bloody hard stopping anytime you want really is. So stop falling for the lies. Stop listening to that gambling voice in your head that tells you you're grumpy because you're not gambling. You're not. You'd be grumpy anyway. And gambling certainly won't make it any better, I promise you that. And I think the same can be said for alcohol as well. And I've only realised that now I've not been drinking. I've had bad days at work, maybe a bit of a, conflict of opinion, shall we say, with my wife. And you think, I'm grumpy because I can't go and have a beer and sort this out. No, you're not. You're grumpy because you're grumpy. You're grumpy because something's made you grumpy. And alcohol, it might temporarily gloss over it, but your problems will be waiting for you when you're done drinking, and I'll guarantee you they'll probably be worse. So anyway, that's that. Thanks to everyone so far who's posted a question on my Q&A thread. I did a video yesterday, if you haven't seen it, because I'm going to start doing sort of Q&A videos. A lot of people put questions in my comments, and I don't really have the time often to sit down and write a decent, proper response to them. And I always make sure I reply to everyone who comments on my videos, because I think if you watch my videos and you support the channel, that's the absolute least I can do. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. I'll stick it on one of the end cards here. Just click on the help video or whatever it's called, and pop us a question in in the comment section there, and then when I do make my the answers to these Q&A videos, I'll try and give you a decent answer to your question. Like I say, it could be anything. It could be about my gambling, about my history of gambling, be about my opinions on stuff. It could be something completely off the wall. You can ask me if I think fob teas are random, for all I care, but you might not like the answer apparently. But anyway, that's that for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to everyone who's following the channel. And yeah, if you're watching this when it first comes out, have a great Friday. Look after your pay if you get paid today, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.